Hey everyone, I hope you all. This is CoinsKid. Just gone over to Bitcoin. Big CoinsKid crew. So it is my opinion that that was not the true top for Bitcoin. That was some kind of B-wave bull trap high. Okay, way back there in November of 2021. I know a lot of people have been looking at that for a very long time. That was the true top. So in my opinion, I did find a lot of confluence. That particular level right there was actually a B-wave bull trap. For example, let's drop chain linking, for example. So we've got the top there in 2021, we've got the top there in 2021 for Bitcoin and chain link, sorry. So in April, May of 2021, we came down in this huge A wave. Look at that for both charts. But what happened is Bitcoin come up and made a B wave bull trap. Chain link came up and made a lower high. So, you know, we've got an A, a B, and a C for chain link. So in my opinion, what we've got within this C wave here is the fact that what we've done for chain link and Bitcoin, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on chain link as well. Okay, so both of these charts have bottomed, and as always, you know, Bitcoin's bolted and coming up, but chain link is coming up and it's lagging Bitcoin, because this is what we typically see in altcoins. Because what happens with Bitcoin, when it gets towards the end of its phase, the end of its cycle, this is where we see alt season. So we're gearing up, in my opinion, for a major alt season going forward. But we have to see certain things in a certain chart before we can anticipate an alt season. There are two things I'm looking for, and I've outlined these, okay? One is basically the fifth wave for Bitcoin. Once that starts to appear, then yeah, anticipate a major alt season coming, because this is typically what we see. Equally, in the Bitcoin dominance chart, we need to see a spike up before the major drop to the downside, and we don't necessarily see that yet. I did make a video a few months ago when everyone was saying alt season and things like that, and I said to you, no, I don't see it. I don't think there's any reason to convert our Bitcoin into alts at this point in time, because I'm not seeing, you know, the catalyst in the Bitcoin dominance chart for the alt season. So I'll remind you of what that is today in this video. But there is a video linked in the video description, alt season. When's it coming? What do we need to look for, you know, to give us clues to an alt season? So with Chainlink, what I think we're going through is the fact that Bitcoin's had an impulsive move up and Chainlink has had an impulsive move up as well. Chainlink's in a wave 2, Bitcoin's in a wave 4, then a wave 5. Chainlink will be in a wave 3, which is the vertical, which is the alt season. Then we come back in a correction for Bitcoin. It tops on the retracement. This is where we have the correction for Chainlink and, you know, the rest of the crypto market, the alt season, and then the final surge, which is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the altcoins right there. And then we get the 5 into the retracement, into the B wave, which is where the altcoins go berserk, and then we enter the bear market. And equally for Chainlink as well, and, you know, many other crypto projects, Cardano, VeChain, so on and so forth. So that's my theory, and I've had that theory for a very long time, that what we've got from this bottom here is a beautiful 1 into a 2 into a 3. But Chainlink bottomed a little bit after Bitcoin. It bottomed in last year when Bitcoin had its wave 2. So right now we're looking at a wave 2 for Chainlink and a wave 4, because it's a leg behind, because this is what we see for alt season. I hope you understand. I hope you're staying with me right now. So there's a lot of symmetry in the charts. There's a lot of confluence that we are looking at this. And this is one of the major confluencing factors that I was looking at that point there being the top for Bitcoin, not this, because of the altcoins. For example, if we take a look at VeChain, for example, let's drop VeChain into this chart right now. So go to new price to scale, clearly see exactly the same scenario. Got the big blow off top just there, the big impulsive move for VeChain, the top of Bitcoin. We came down with VeChain and Bitcoin. We made a lower high with VeChain and dropped into the C wave. With Bitcoin, we've dropped into the C wave. So we've got an A, a B, and a C. So this C wave had 5 waves. We was looking for that. We've got 5 waves in the VeChain chart as well. But again, at the bottom of this wave here, this is where VeChain bottomed last year, which is where Bitcoin bottomed. At the bottom is wave 2. So it's had a wave 3. VeChain's had a wave 1. Right now it's in a 2. Bitcoin's in a 4. Bitcoin has a 5. VeChain has a 3. VeChain has a 4, sorry. Bitcoin begins its bear market. That's the A wave down. And on the B wave retracement, this is the final wave for the alts. This is the true alt season. So hope you understand. This is what I'm looking at. It's confluence in the charts. So this is the data that I've got in front of me. This is my expectation. So I hope you're staying with me. Let's dive into the Bitcoin dominance chart right now to see what we need to see to increase the probability of a alt season. So please do take a few minutes just to watch the previous video that I made on an alt season. When we was around about here and everyone was talking about an alt season, I said to you, I don't see any reason to call an alt season yet, because typically what we see, and if you check the video out, we do see a spike up. For example here, this was a spike up before the major drop. This was an alt season. Again here, a big spike up, Bitcoin's going parabolic, it's doing incredibly well, and then we have that big drop, which leads to the alt season, towards the end of a cycle basically. So I think that what we've got, this was the end of an impulsive move, all the way back there in May of 2021, as you're fully aware, and this was the end of an impulsive move, just there. So, you know, what I'm looking for in the Bitcoin dominance chart to increase the probability, you know, that we're going to see a major waterfall to the downside, which is your alt season, is always a spike up in the dominance before we get that. So just here, I think what we're doing with the dominance, we just basically had that huge alt season crabbing along like this, and then Bitcoin eventually clawed a lot of dominance back. So here we was consolidating a range, holding this previous level of support as resistance. Now we've got above it and turn it into support. I'm looking for, you know, Bitcoin to continue, have a big impulsive move to the upside, which will obviously be confluence to that, and then a spike up potentially into this resistance point just there, around about 59.73, and then the alt season begins. So right now we are sort of right on cue with a potential alt season, but obviously we need to see the spike up and then obviously the push up in Bitcoin. Everyone stood there, alts are going sideways, Bitcoin's taking off, like, oh my god, and then Bitcoin gets its dominance back, and then that's it, waterfall, just like that alt season, and just like that alt season after impulsive move to the upside from Bitcoin. We don't necessarily see it yet. So I think if we do start to see a spike up into this minimal level of resistance right there, then that will increase the probability of a true alt season around the corner with the confluence of the wave count that I'm looking at for Bitcoin. So I'll keep you updated on that, and obviously things can change, and you know, the structure changes and invalidations start to appear and things like that, but I don't necessarily see any invalidation at the moment. So if we do start to see Bitcoin turn a corner, start to go vertical, puts in another impulsive move, then, you know, kick back, relax, and know that alts are the play. And this is something I've spoken about for a very long time. Let's dive into the DXY right now and take a look with what's going on with that, okay? So taking a look at the DXY then, we've got the bearish rising channel. Like I said to you, it's a bearish broadening wedge. It's broadening as it goes up, basically. So typically what we do see on these particular patterns, we've got 1, 2, 3, we begin to fall back to support, and this is where we break down to where we form the channel, basically, and that was a beautiful little channel. So we've got the same here. We've got the support, resistance, 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 and what we've got is the third point of support. We are beginning to break down for the DXY. So like I said to you, once we break down at this point, this should be a little sweet spot. Once this comes down the stairs, just like it was there, you know, to jump into some positions, Bitcoin, take some opportunities and ride the wave back up. You know, whether or not it's another impulsive move or whatever, time will tell, but you know, the clues are in the inverse correlation with the DXY. So this has been toying with that as resistance. It was toying with it just there, then it dropped, and now look, it looks like it's dropping. So at the moment the technical target is this white line. Now if the DXY falls below that, turns it into resistance and continues to come down the stairs, wow, you know, this is a major drop to the downside in the DXY, and with that we should be looking at a blow off top in risk. You know, Bitcoin, Chainlink, XRP breaking out, so on and so forth, because we'll see a breakdown in the DXY. So this is why I do cover the DXY for you, because we do trade it as an inverse correlation. So if I drop the Bitcoin chart in right now, you can clearly see that just there on the loss of this support, Bitcoin at this point was coming down, and as this started to lose this support, this is pretty much where Bitcoin's bottom just there. I think it was a few weeks ago on 1st of May, look at that, and then Bitcoin's been toying with coming up, and the DXY is toying with coming down. So at the moment the inverse correlation is the DXY is in a technical target and Bitcoin is looking to compress and come back up the stairs. So I wouldn't take it off the table that Bitcoin's about to move up to the upside, basically. Whether or not it's another impulsive move, just as it was here, you know, we've got this third point of resistance just there in this rising channel. We toyed with this previous support as resistance, and on this drop to the downside to where we formed the channel, we got the beautiful impulsive move for Bitcoin at that point after it finished its correction way back there in I think it was, when was that, February, wasn't it? We're looking at that opportunity as an inverse correlation with the DXY, and this is something I was relaying to you, and it's the same story I've been relaying to you, you know, with the DXY going forward. So, you know, a lot of people say, why do you look at DXY and things like that? But we've been looking at DXY for years. This is a beautiful chart that I use, and I show you many days and many times that I look at it as an inverse correlation. For example, the big macro move for the DXY is in 2021. If I zoom out to the daily time frame right there, you can clearly see the DXY again was confluence to the fact that I do think the bottom was, you know, the top of that impulsive move was then 2021, April 2021, not here, because of the DXY. And this is something I kept relaying to you, that down at this point here we've got a double bottom with bullish divergence, and then we've got basically a top with bearish divergence on the Bitcoin price right there. And then as we start to create this parabolic growth curve in the process of coming up for the DXY, Bitcoin actually put in a B-wave bull trap. So it's only when this started to top and lose a parabolic growth curve that I said to you, I expect, you know, this to come down the stairs and Bitcoin to go vertical, and it's done exactly that. So again, until I start to see more data in the DXY that it's looking incredibly bullish and so on and so forth, then I've just got to respect that, you know, the macro move here for the DXY is down, and, you know, Bitcoin is actually in a whopping uptrend at the moment. So I think that, you know, at the moment, if we do start to see this channel come to fruition, it starts to break down like this, you sweep this low, and you head toward this green line and lose it, then wow, kick back and relax, and you know, anticipate risk to go vertical basically. And this is your blow off top phase for Bitcoin and risk. So let's dive into the Bitcoin chart right now to see what we can see. But so far so good, it's all going to plan. If we do start to see anything else, you know, any kind of bullish structure in the DXY, whatever, I will immediately alert you. Okay, so let's dive into the Bitcoin chart and see what we can see right now. So taking a look at Bitcoin on the hourly time frame, then we did nail this particular opportunity on a 20-week EMA. It was a target I was giving people in the Discord right there, and equally I've shown you in a video. You know, if we do start to roll over and sweep these lows, then the 20-week EMA should come up for support and we should bounce off it. So it's a lovely little level that we have found a nice little bounce. Boom, look at that, 12% up off a 20-week EMA. So, you know, at the moment, what we want to see is this not turn into resistance, because if we start to see the 20-week EMA turn into resistance over multiple weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, then it's bearish in my opinion. It's a clue to a bigger macro correction and the end of an impulsive move right there for Bitcoin. So I wish everyone most luck, but we have seen a beautiful reaction so far off that 20-week EMA. And with that, if you take a look on the hourly, we have got some kind of 1 into a 2 into a 3 into a 4 into a 5, and a potential correction that's coming back like this. So this could be an A wave, this could be a B wave, and then we have a C wave drop, comes back down, you know, oh no, it's going to 0, but it holds that low, and then we start to forge out the third wave. You know, got some kind of ascending triangle at this point, which would be a beautiful signature reversal pattern just there. So let's be patient, okay? At the minute, there is a chance that that is the bottom, which I've relayed to you in an irregular A, B, C wave correction. And like I said to you in the C wave, from this point, we've got the 1 into the 2, into the 3, into the 4, into the 5, which was overlapping corrective waves. Look at that, some kind of flagging, overlapping corrective price structure. So from this point, if we are indeed impulsive, we need to see impulsive waves coming up. And potentially on the micro, on the hourly time frame, we do have a 1 into a 2, into a 3, into a 4, into a 5. A nice little 5-wave move right there for Bitcoin, okay? So again, if you are looking to trade Bitcoin, this would be your stop loss to negate this particular trade going forward. 56502 on Bybit at the moment, okay? So that's your low on the 20-week EMA. That's the pivot low. That's the, you know, your bull market support basically. Lose that, then obviously Bitcoin's in a waterfall and it's going even lower than I anticipate. But so far so good. This could actually be the bottom, and right now we need to work on the bottom structure. And one of the key things we need to see going forward is the break of the downtrend structure. So we have these pivot points in there. This red line here, which is this high, and equally this red line here, which is this previous pivot high as well, because this is your downtrend structure, okay? So from this high here, we made a low, we made a lower high, then we made a lower low and made a lower high, and right now we're actually in another lower low. So we need to see this break up, take out this previous pivot high, which is 6720, and at that point you will get another increased probability that that was your true low from which you've come, okay? But going forward, we need to see impulsive and corrective price structure to take out, you know, the fact that this has been a correction. We need to see impulsive and corrective price structure back up the stairs. And what we're looking for in time, if I'm correct, and this is the blow off top right now leading into the next few months here for Bitcoin, with the breakdown and DSY, we need to see 5 waves going up with an increased probability that that is it. You know, with a breakdown of DSY forming bullish divergence on the weekly and the daily down there, which it currently doesn't have, and then a bearish divergence of Bitcoin as well. So I wish everyone the most luck, okay? Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. But at the moment, one of the key things we need to see is a break of the downtrend structure, 6720, holding the 20-week EMA as it goes. Hope you understand the update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Back to a new update on Bitcoin. Bye-bye.